This week's gospel is the famous story about Zacchaeus, right? You know, the wee little man. We all know the song, right? So Zacchaeus is this chief tax collector, right? And you might recall tax collectors were hated. They're hated today. They were hated more in Jesus' day because they worked for the Romans and they were cheating their own people to get rich. Zacchaeus isn't just a tax collector. He's a chief tax collector. So this guy is despised. He's got no friends, right? But he knows that Jesus is coming by, and so he's curious, and he goes and he climbs this tree so he can see Jesus. And it turns out that Jesus was looking for him, right? Jesus comes up to him and he says, Zacchaeus, I want to come to your house tonight for dinner. And there's an interesting connection here, right? The traditional Epiphany home blessing liturgy includes this gospel reading, right? Because Jesus decides to come to his house and blesses his home with his presence. And so we should all hope to have Jesus enter into our homes as well, and we should invite him there. But it's interesting what happens there, right? The gospel doesn't record Jesus saying anything to him besides, I want to come to your house for dinner. We don't know what they talked about over dinner, but what we see is with this close encounter with Jesus, right? Zacchaeus goes looking for him. Turns out Jesus was looking for Zacchaeus. Jesus enters Zacchaeus' house, and Zacchaeus is radically changed, right? And he talks about how he's going to go above and beyond making up for cheating people, and he's going to give them back twice what he stole from them, and all these ridiculous things. It doesn't seem like Jesus told him to do that. This just kind of overflowed from his heart from this encounter with Jesus. His life it's a complete 180. He completely changes direction. And so the question for us this week is, number one, how badly do we want to experience Jesus? Like Zacchaeus was willing to climb a tree to make this happen. What are you willing to do to get closer to Jesus? And then the second question is, how does that encounter with Jesus actually change your life so that we can treat Jesus like a real person and not just a character in a book? Because Jesus changes lives.